One of the three pillars of our framework is being true to the people, and that's really about delivering genuine empathy, reflecting them in their most true and natural selves, as well as taking your audience on a bit of a journey so that your message lands. How did you stay true to the people and bring your strategy to life?
Yeah, it's interesting because people often, I think, as a strategic planner, when you say people, your thoughts immediately go to consumers, people in the, civilians in the sort of real world. But what's quite interesting about this campaign is that it's one where we worked literally inside out. So the context we had was that we had created a new brand platform for Virgin Atlantic, See the World Differently. And the work was going to be the first expression of that campaign. So we knew that actually, in order to substantiate it, we needed some tangible evidence of how Virgin Atlantic sees the world differently. And Anabelle and I went on a sort of mission, didn't we? Looking at every single different thing we could potentially talk about in terms of illustrating our difference as a brand. And we had great claims like the sort of youngest, sort of cleanest fleet in the skies, the things we're famous for, like those pepper pots were, people encouraged to steal. But actually, it was through a conversation that we had, again, with people and one specific person, our Virgin Atlantic's head of crew, who actually revealed to us that, the best example of Virgin Atlantic's difference, as Anabelle has said, is Virgin's people. And specifically, there's some really interesting kind of nuggets that demonstrated that to us, in as much as, unlike other airlines, Virgin Atlantic don't make their crew follow a script. So obviously there's things they have to do at certain times as part of delivering a brilliant service, but actually in and around that, they're encouraged to be themselves and to actually bring, their own personality to the job. And then again, we did some further consumer research with our existing customers and potential customers. And we found that actually what they really value is actually the sort of individual way in which they're treated when they travel with Virgin Atlantic. So we thought there's a really nice kind of coming together of a shared mindset there. Crew who are encouraged to be individuals and our customers who love to be treated like an individual. And it was really that kind of shared philosophy that we put at the heart of the campaign to bring to life. And then we had to go about, well, how do we bring a real kind of, I guess, human-centered, people-centered approach to how we execute. So the story across all the work, but particularly in the TV, is that of a group of not just crew, but crew and customers making their way through an airport and onto one of our planes. And actually it's a celebration of them just, being who they are. I am what I am. But to really make sure that all those sort of real individuality of each character really shone, we then worked with Virgin Atlantic's internal people networks and external ED&I consultants, because we felt it was very important that we, put a very diverse sort of cast of people as the heroes of the campaign. But even within that, we wanted to make sure that they were more than kind of one-dimensional representations of their community. They were individuals that had all those individual qualities and characteristics. So again, Anabelle and I had some really brilliant conversations with those communities who just opened our eyes up to things that I don't think we would necessarily have seen otherwise, would we, Anabelle? Like just, things like the difference between West African and West Indian suiting. And that played a really big role in things like the wardrobe choices. Or there's a moment in the film where our old black gentleman in our loft does a little sort of jingle of some bangles and bracelets that he's wearing. And again, that came from talking to the community who explained, in that space, this is how someone might feel, how they might behave, what sort of body language and gestures they might use. So all of those really nuanced details, they seem like small things, but actually we fed them directly into the production to try and, as I say, get a really authentic representation of the people we were heroing and really let their individuality kind of shine and sparkle.
And I know that you've not just done the hard yards on making the people sparkle, but you've also thought deeply about who's behind the camera. Am I right?
Yes, exactly. So for runway, which is how we brought to life the change to our uniform code, we made sure that we appointed Camp Productions to shoot the piece, because they actually represent queer, diverse, ethnic minority creators, photographers, directors and so on. So they, more than anybody else, were best placed to actually capture in a really authentic way how we wanted to bring to life the change to our uniform code. So it was a real sort of, people are layered through absolutely everything from the initial, kind of strategic choice to put people at the heart of the campaign, all the way through to how we produced it and how we executed it.